Story title: The Moon That Never Left. Welcome back to Inspire Talks by RK, and don't skip this one, because this story will remind you that even when the world turns dark, there is always a light silently watching over you. There was a boy named Adrian, the kind of soul who felt everything too deeply: happiness, sadness, love, loneliness, all of it. People called him sensitive, emotional, dramatic, and slowly, he began to believe that something was wrong with him. He learned to hide his feelings behind forced smiles. He laughed when he was breaking. He helped others when he needed help the most. He loved quietly because he was afraid of losing people loudly. Among the people he loved most was his grandmother, Evelyn, the only person who truly understood him. She was soft-spoken, patient, and gentle, the kind of person who turned silence into comfort and not fear. Every night, little Adrian would sit beside her on the balcony, looking at the moon. "Why do you like the moon so much?" he asked one night. His grandmother smiled and replied, "Because even when the world goes dark, it never stops shining." Adrian didn't understand then, but those words stayed with him. Years passed. Life grew faster and heavier. His friends changed. People he trusted left. Dreams failed. And that gentle boy slowly drowned in a storm he didn't know how to escape. He became good at pretending, too good. Everyone thought he was fine. Only he knew that every night his pillow absorbed the tears he never let the world see. Then one night, the pain became too much. He walked outside without a destination, without a thought, just wanting to breathe again. Hours later, he found himself sitting on an old bench, exhausted, empty, and invisible. He looked up at the sky, and there it was, the moon, calm, quiet, present. For the first time in years, Adrian whispered honestly, "I'm tired. I don't know how to live anymore." A memory hit him like a wave. His grandmother's voice, "Even when the world goes dark, never stop shining." Tears rolled down his face, not because he was weak, but because he finally stopped pretending. The next morning, he received another blow. A call that his grandmother had passed away. Adrian fell to the floor, shattered, breathless, broken. He didn't get to say goodbye. He didn't tell her how life had changed him. He didn't tell her how much he still needed her. At the funeral, he couldn't cry. He couldn't speak. He couldn't move. Everyone left, but Adrian stayed alone by her grave. "Why did you leave me?" he whispered. "I don't know how to live without you." The world was silent, and then a soft, cold wind touched his face. He looked up. The moon shined brighter than ever. It was coincidence, yet it felt like an answer. That night, he sat on the balcony again, exactly where he used to sit as a child. He looked at the moon and whispered, "You're still here." From that night onward, whenever life became too heavy, exams, jobs, friendships, heartbreaks, Adrian would find time to sit under the moon. He didn't speak out loud, but he always felt heard. Slowly, quietly, he healed. He learned that being emotional wasn't a weakness. It was the ability to feel deeply. He learned that losing someone doesn't mean they disappear. Love doesn't die with people. He learned that strength isn't never falling, strength is rising every time after. Years later, on a difficult night, his little niece found him sitting on the same balcony. "Uncle Adrian, why do you like the moon so much?" she asked in her tiny voice. He looked at her and smiled just like his grandmother once did. "Because even when the world becomes dark, it never stops shining." The little girl sat beside him and leaned her head on his shoulder. In that moment, Adrian realized he became the same safe place for someone else that his grandmother once was for him. The moon wasn't just a light in the sky. It was a reminder that some love never leaves, changes shape, but never disappears. White medium star moral of the story. Some people leave the world, but they never leave your life. They stay in your kindness, your strength, your love, your memories, and every time you choose to shine despite the darkness, you carry their light forward. Your feedback helps me get better. Did anything feel off or could be improved? Let me know in the comments. This is Inspire Talks, and remember, even when life goes dark, don't forget to shine, because someone out there still sees you like the moon. If this story touched your heart, then let your finger do one small thing. Hit that like button. And if you want to walk with me in more such journeys, then subscribe. Our next story might just find you before you find it. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye-bye.